And I'd like to invite Naomi Klein to come up here and say some words. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming with us to support. Love you.
Thank you, Cedar. It's so good to see you and to be standing here with generations, many generations together of land protectors and defenders, of water protectors, defenders, and planet protectors and defenders, because we know that when we say that this dirty carbon has to stay in the ground, that we cannot be building new infrastructure that is multi-billion-dollar pieces of pipe, right? $7 billion, $6 billion more. But when these investors make that decision, they intend for this infrastructure to stay in production for 30 to 40 years. And what all of the leading climate scientists on this planet have told us is that that is incompatible with a habitable planet for all of us and for these young people who are here standing, growing up in the struggle, right? So when you here defend your water, your salmon, your land, you are protecting all of us. This movement that we are a part of is a global movement, and that all over the world people understand that we cannot be building new dirty infrastructure, that it's time for the future. And whether they're in Australia in Indigenous-led movements saying no and putting their bodies on the line to new coal mines and coal export terminals, whether they are in South Africa standing up to fracking, whether they are the people who successfully fought pipelines like Energy East, like Northern Gateway, or the amazing water protectors of Standing Rock. This is a global movement, and it is being led by Indigenous people.
Quiet up. Chief Judy Wilson from Nisconnet. I'm proud to be an executive member of the Union of BC Indian Chiefs. The Union BC Indian Chiefs has stood their ground and protected title rights in the water since its inception. Government cannot continue to trample on human rights, because our Indigenous rights are all of human rights. You heard Naomi, this is a global movement. If you don't get involved, if your children who are standing right on the front line aren't involved, we will have a destroyed earth. We will not be able to sustain ourselves. The governments are in the world and the industry, the 1% are not getting that message because they are blind. They are blinded by the money. They are blinded by the wealth. They are blinded by their own greed, and they're making us suffer for it. The 1% cannot continue that path because it's a destructive path. The 99% that are here today, you need to forge that path and continue standing up, and don't ever be afraid. You heard the Thunder Beings this morning. The ancestors are with us. And those that are not born yet are with us. We have to fight this fight. This is a fight of the century. This is a fight for our world as we know it. We cannot go down that destructive path. We cannot continue supporting the oil industry. We cannot continue to support the economy the way it is. Justin Trudeau was saying he's doing this for the jobs and the economy. He is confused and he is blind, and he has to be able to understand that that is not our future. Our future is the sustainability that my mother talked about, living off the land, living with the land, living in harmony and balance with the land. Our Mother Earth cannot continue. Our Mother Earth needs us now more than ever.
My traditional name is Owadi. I'm Chief Bob Chamberlin, Vice President of the Union of BC Indian Chiefs. And I believe that we are at such a time here globally now, we are at a tipping point. We are at the point where we must collectively, as human beings on this planet, make the appropriate changes so we can save this planet. It is that simple. And when we have plenty of alternative energy resources available, why is the government standing blind to these opportunities? These alternative energy projects can create wealth, it can create the energy we need, and it can be broad-based across the province of British Columbia and Canada, and we can meet the needs without a pipeline, without threatening rivers, without threatening the lands, the environment, the salmon. It's about us making sure the government hears us without any question about what we are willing to accept and what we are not willing to accept.
I want to say I'm deeply touched and greatly humbled to be in the presence of such greatness as I see before me. I know in my heart of hearts that every single person here, from the very youngest to the very oldest, you are all leaders. And you have taken that very principled, responsible step to be here today, to support this ongoing struggle, to send a very clear message to Prime Minister Dress-Up that Kinder Morgan Trans Mountain Pipeline is not, I repeat, is not in the national interest. And it certainly represents a threat to the safety, health, and well-being of our citizens, of our people along the pipeline route, with respect to a catastrophic pipeline rupture and the devastation that would cause to the multitude of watersheds, to the fisheries, to the aquatic ecosystems, not to mention a greater catastrophic tanker spill in the inlet. We have a fundamental human right to protect our interests here in British Columbia. And I want you to know, it lifts my spirits to know that we're in this together. In every sense of the word, we're in this together. And it's issues like this, when we're challenged, that we come together, as has been the prophecies of our people for thousands of years. And it's very humbling to be part of this incredible history that we're writing this very moment. And at some point, when we're all at Sunset Village in our rocking chairs, we'll look back on this day and we'll remember this day. And we'll remember the good people that were standing to our left and to our right, in front of us and behind us, and we'll smile. And we'll know that we were on the right side of history, and we will take enormous pride knowing that Kinder Morgan's Trans Mountain Pipeline project was never built. I don't think there's any question that this powerful demonstration of unity and solidarity had an impact on Kinder Morgan to the point where they chose not to invoke the injunction as they have on previous weekends. We know that capital is timid, that investors will not put their money at risk. And as they begin to realize that this opposition continues to grow and strengthen, they're going to start withdrawing their financial support for these kinds of projects. And that's how we're going to win this fight. Kinder Morgan backed down. Kinder Morgan blinked today. And it's a direct result of all of you beautiful people coming out here.